Okay, and this is the heating coil that just come in. It measures out to be, let's see here, read on, about 10.48 ohms at full resistance. If we take it and put it in the middle, we should see half the axis that's in the middle. 5.79, which is close. And if it's 24 volt, we'll probably divide it by 10, and if it's giving us like 12 ohms or 11 ohms of full series, that will give us 1.1 to 1.2 ohms. And in for each set, put in parallel with it so that it can lower down the resistance even further. Well, if it's 24 volts, you're going to need half ohm of resistance. So probably two of them in parallel probably do the trick without going too low. Because if it goes too low, the clamps will melt. And that's not what we want. Anyway, we'll have to make sure we keep a fan on it. I got a wet fan over there we're going to use to keep the whole thing cool. Being outside and cold probably helped as well. Keep it cool because it's cold outside as well. And I don't know how much wire this is. We'll have to take it apart since I know 10 ohms is just going to be too much resistance to be a good enough load. It'll have very little of a load. Anyway, I'm going to cut the wire here, and I'm going to take it off of this metal piece here and stretch it out and measure it and see how much you get. If it's 24 volts that we get, well, to measure the voltage. I don't know for sure what the voltage is. I believe it's 24 volts, because if the charger is producing out 36, it has to be at least something a little bit below that. And it can't be 12 because that's just too much, usually. Anyway, let's take a look at this. Okay, I measured it out and it's pretty long. It comes up to be 26 foot and 3 inches. And I decided to round it to 26 foot, so we're going to do it that way. And if the voltage is like I think it is, it's going to be like, can't see right there. I'll move it over here. 24 volt. You divide it by 10, you get 2.6 feet. Since 26 divided by 10 is 2.6. Then I get originally like 0.91 for each of them. To get almost close enough to that, I'm going to divide it by 2. And that gives me... Am I doing this upside down? No. And that gives me 455 milliohms. Now if I take 24 and divide it by 455, 52 amps. That might be good enough. But I might have to put something a little bit more in series with it. It might be a little bit off. I wonder what I'd get if I did 3 foot. Let's try 3 foot. Instead of 2.6. Okay. I just measured it in 3 foot. Now we got... Get this meter up here. 1.6 what I had, 1.78 I had, now it says 1.07. If I take that and divide it by 2, say put 2 of them in parallel, that gives us 540 milliohms, which is good enough for 24 volt. Now we wanted to see if that's actual voltage. If it's not, we're going to have to change it around. We may have to go up or down a little. Anyway, that looks good for us, so we'll keep that in mind. The next thing is, can we fit what measure out? Is next we're gonna do is measure out, see if that board that I just got today, the tile, can fit a 3-foot segment on it. I don't know if it can. You might be able to do it, but you might have to bend the corners, wrap it around and go from corner to corner and do it like that and stretch it out. But I think we can do it. If we're using like just 2 of it, I think we can. Let's see it, check out how I'm gonna do that. Okay, I might be able to do is mount on this here the way it originally come on. It has these here pieces here that handle the heat. The ceramic, I think. They feel like ceramic. Not sure, there might be porcelain. And I think I calculated on here that according to see how I'm gonna put this back on there in a minute. Put it back on there. Calculated it, I get my measuring tape. This is the other one. The other one you saw was longer, but this is only like 10, 12 feet or so. 10 feet. And as you can see there, it's about half a foot length. If it regardless, if you not, it might be a little bit over a foot if you talking about where the connectors usually were. But we're not going to use those connectors because they don't fit the wire I had, the connectors I have, and we had to change the wiring. We might have to do is maybe, how are we going to do it? I have maybe what I'll do is shove it in one of those quick connects, the wires. Let me try that. Get ideas. How I'm gonna take these in. So I can set the camera up. Wish I had a stand. Here's an end of the nichrome wire. Let's see if I can get it so you can see what I'm doing. You see what I mean by this? I take these in, quick connects. Don't know the gender on it. I could probably do something like that. Probably could fit. Let me see if I could fit 2 of them in it. 2 or 3 of them. I'm not gonna cut it. I'm gonna see if I can fit 2 of them all in there. See how well it makes it's okay connection. Thing is, you don't want it to get loose. Yeah, it might work. These quick connectors that were made to connect on something like this here, except they're too big. These are too big to fit it. You might just use those on there to connect to the element. Then you got the other one here too. That can be to the other side. You get 3 of them in there, and I bet if 3 of them, it's gonna be pretty tight. But I don't know how well it's gonna be. I don't know. I cut too short in here. I could have used 2 of them and then test it, see how well it's gonna fit. It's gonna probably fit pretty well. We don't know for sure how we're gonna cut it anyway. and how long the length is, since I don't know actual voltage will be. I don't want to cut it too short and then find out the voltage is a little higher or lower than I could have cut better. I don't think I'm going to use all this wire, and I could save this wire for making resistors on it, power ones I might sell out of it, because these nickel wire is good for making resistors. You can make actual resistors out of it. 1 inch could be a couple of feet could be 1 ohm, which is usually not true with other regular wire. Of course, some wire it is, depending on how good quality, how crappy quality it is. And there you go. We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Measure the voltage tomorrow. We'll also measure the voltage on the charger to make sure it's outputting something before we consider it being the battery, when it could be the actual charger. Could be the problem. The charger could be not putting out voltage. So let's try that.